A totally terrific Tuesday afternoon to all of you. Yours truly, Joshua Garcia here for PTV News Now. And on the eve of tomorrow's big Chinese New Year celebration, we kick off this afternoon stories with a Chinese national in NBI custody. A week and a half have passed since Deng Yuan-king and two Filipino cohorts fell into a police dragnet setup for him after several stakeout sessions. Deng and his two accomplices are suspected of engaging in espionage and reconnaissance activities, given the instrumentation and mapping devices seized from them in a Makati condominium that day. And the AFP stands back on its conviction despite yesterday's photo op and presser by the suspect's weeping wife and high-profile counsel, who maintained Deng's innocence and claimed the mapping device confiscated from Deng in his arrest on January 17 was for roadway monitoring to be used in a study on self-driving cars. Now, or notwithstanding the wife's drama and their lawyer's vehement insistence, the AFP stands foursquare behind their evidence-based inquiry and accusations. Deng has been engaged in unlawful surveillance of the country's military and police camps, power plants, government offices, airports and seaports, and even shopping malls in the mega city and elsewhere. Barely 2 days ago, two military cargo planes carrying a load of or full of illegally staying Colombian migrants in America tried to land in Bogota airport, but was rejected by airport authorities upon instruction from Colombian President Gustavo Petro, who insisted that he would only take back the migrants if they were treated with dignity and transported in civilian planes. But on Sunday, his defiant tone turned conciliatory after a 25% tariff was raised in retaliation by U.S. President Donald Trump. In addition, President Petro said he was perfectly okay with military planes carrying his long-lost constituents and says he's happy to welcome them back. And so the White House celebrated its arm-twisting ploy and said America is back and being respected again the world over. This as ICE agents are on overdrive in flushing out illegal immigrants and hiding all over the Union and herding them inside private and military planes to fly them back from whence they originally came. The U.S. government, like ours, consists of three branches of organization conceived to keep each other in check, with Congress in charge of creating and enacting legislation for all to follow. But the president holds a special power to unilaterally direct government policy, executive orders. This VOA feature shines the light on how it is wielded.
The power of the pen. With just their signatures, U.S. presidents can issue executive orders directing the actions of the federal government without needing the approval of Congress. Executive orders have the force of law within certain limits. An order must specify what basis it has in either the Constitution or existing legislation. Even then, executive orders can be overturned. Courts can rule them unconstitutional. Congress can refuse funding for enforcing an order or pass legislation to invalidate it. And future presidents can undo an executive order by issuing a new one. Except for William Harrison, who died after 1 month in office, all U.S. presidents have issued at least one executive order. Some executive orders make history. Abraham Lincoln, 1863. The Emancipation Proclamation, Franklin Roosevelt, 1942. World War II, internment of Japanese Americans, Harry Truman, 1948. Desegregation of the U.S. military. Franklin Roosevelt issued 3,700 executive orders during his tenure, more than any other president. While more recent presidents have averaged about 55 executive orders per year, few have issued any on their first day in office. Donald Trump, however, issued 26 orders immediately after being sworn in, surpassing the 9 first-day executive orders issued by his predecessor, Joe Biden. Initially used mostly in wartime and emergencies, executive orders are becoming an increasingly important tool for presidents to shift priorities and change the way the federal government does business.
And that's a wrap for this afternoon. Join us anew later on for breaking stories in our evening edition. Always remember to stay connected by catching the news right here. Joshua Garcia here, wishing you well throughout this evening, and thank you for watching PTV News Now.